Hey, Craig Campbell is in the studio with us. He brought some ribs from his buddy, but what's it called? Bow Hog?
Bo Hogs is the
Bo
name
Hogs.
of the barbecue. Yeah, his name is Corey. His name is Corey. I don't know where he got
did
Bo.
go from? So we have ribs in there that they're cold. But
Sounds like he was a Dukes fan because he put Bo
Boss Hog
and
and
Boss
Bo.
Hog together, so it's Bo Hog.
I bet he has a son named Luke or something.
Yeah, no. I hope if he has any kids, he probably doesn't know about it.
Oh, that's wow. You said a lot with that, actually, Craig. Thank you. I'm sure he appreciates that.
We all have that friend.
Well, thanks for bringing some ribs. I appreciate
Man,
it. Thank you.
You know, I knew I was coming to see
Corey.
you guys, and I reached out to him and asked him to throw down because a little birdie said you guys liked
I mean, who
a
doesn't?
good smoke,
Meat.
a
Who
good,
doesn't?
a good rack,
Meat.
a good rack.
Yes, that's right. So, so you have this new. I love the fact that like with our mutual friend Drew Baldridge, who went and did his own thing, got a #1 song on his own, doing it on his own, which is, I believe, that was the first #1 that wasn't with a record label.
Yeah,
I believe it made history.
That's a big deal. I mean, he took it all the way, all on his own. It's self-funded.
Yeah.
No record label, no quote unquote established
Machine.
radio
Yeah.
team. He
Yeah.
put it all together himself and did the thing.
Well, you
man.
can say by himself. His wife was a big
Oh,
part
well, yeah.
of it. She worked her butt off.
As is all good wives.
That's right.
There's absolutely, even with the situation I'm in, because I knew that if I decided to do this, that I wouldn't. I just wouldn't do it for sure without the 100% blessing from my wife.
Yeah. So this is a song that was 10 years old or so, and then we're gonna bring it back, update it,
Yeah.
see what happens.
That was I recorded this. It was one of the very first songs I ever recorded after signing with Broken Bow,
Mhm.
and for reasons I still don't know 100% why, but at the time they didn't want me to play it for anybody, not even anyone at the label. They didn't want to hear this song.
Okay.
It was a dirty little secret.
It kind of was.
Okay.
And I just didn't understand. And then fast forward in 2018, we had a pretty good run with Outskirts of Heaven, and we decided to put out an EP with that song on there. And then also I had a new single at that time called See You Try, and that was going to be the name of the EP. And I convinced them to put Me Missing You on the EP. And when the EP came out, it started streaming like crazy.
Uh-huh.
And by that time, I think we all had decided we needed to part ways. And then so fast forward 5 years, Drew did his thing, and it was very inspiring. I'm like, if he can do that with a song that was 5 years old, maybe I can do it with a song that's 10 years old.
Sure.
Okay.
Or actually it didn't come out to 2018. So yeah, 5 or 6 years old, kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I re-recorded it so I could own it.
And it's also very updated. It sounds now compared to when you put the two side by side, it's very different.
Oh yeah, it's very similar to each other, but you're right. It's definitely a 10-year difference in the way that it was. Some of the recording process, the plugins, and all that. It's different. And my voice, I think my voice is better now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
And so when I sing it again, it just, to me, sounds better.
It's called Missing You. Let's play it. We got Craig Campbell in the studio. We'll talk more with Craig coming up. And maybe some coffee talk, too. I don't know. We'll find out.
Let's do it.
Craig Campbell in the studio with us, and we're talking about the new song he's got out. It's called Missing You. By the way, how's the place going? Your shop?
Grindstone Cowboy is
I also think Grindstone Cowboy is the best name for it. I mean, it just
It's country.
how is that not? I didn't know one already
coffee.
do that.
You know what? I was surprised when I heard somebody say Grindstone Cowboy, and my third ear was like, did they say Grindstone Cowboy? And I
Cowboy?
thought, man, that'd be a great name for a coffee shop, and I wrote it down and trademarked it because I figured somebody would think about making
right.
something out of it.
Yeah.
They'd have to come to me.
You'd have to buy it from
Yeah.
you.
Do you think that you would have on 2 careers of like music and a proprietor?
Not at all. If you'd asked 4 years ago if I'd have been owning a restaurant and about to open a second location and then a third
Third
one,
location.
I'd have said no. That's absolutely wild.
Well, that's always hard stuff to do because you got to have good management teams, you got to have good people working with you, and you've got to treat people right.
Yeah.
And so it's a big statement to say that you got 3 coming. That's cool.
A lot of
more locations.
Yeah, so the location number 2 is going to be in Shelbyville, Tennessee, and then location number 3 is going to be in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, down off of 30A. But it's funny because a lot of Grindstone Cowboy, the characteristics were by accident. We were talking about it this morning about how the flow of things is and how the menu is small, and then you hear other people talk about success comes because, or the lack of success is because some people's menus get too big, and we had no idea what we were doing.
Don't do the Cheesecake Factory.
No,
menu?
not at all. That's wild. That menu is wild. But hey, speaking of Grindstone, can I? I got some news the other day that you guys were being inducted into the Country Radio Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you, man.
From myself, like it's a big deal.
Craig,
and
that means a lot, dude.
You guys deserve it. What I want to do is I want to have a signature latte at Grindstone Cowboy.
Nuh-uh.
Named the Big D and Bubba.
I love it.
Someone told me that one of you guys, I don't remember who it was, but said that your go-to at one time was like 4 espressos over ice.
Yeah, four
Big
shot.
D.
That was a quad
Now,
shot.
yeah. So I don't know if that should be the drink, but
yeah, maybe back that off a little bit.
but I do
Most
want you
people
guys.
can't handle it.
I do want you to think about it.
Okay,
come
are
up
you
come
serious?
up with your own recipe, and
Okay.
we will put it on the menu, and it'll be there.
Dude, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
Thank you. That means a lot to us.
And I think it'd be awesome.
The Big D and Bubba.
It's a major award.
It's gonna have barbecue sauce in it somehow. I don't know.
Barbecue sauce and honey,
and honey and whiskey and
a dash of cinnamon on top,
and a little bit of foam. All right, Craig Campbell's with us. Come back. We'll talking some little throwback as well. Coming up next. Hang on. Craig Campbell in the studio with us. He's got that new song. It's called "Missing You." Check that out. It's cool, and I love your story. Of picking yourself up. Like a lot of people when they're like, "Hey, I don't have a record deal right now," and they're just like, "Well, that's it for me, and that's done." It's not the way it is anymore. It's just not. You can release music in your basement.
Still breathing, still fighting.
And it can go huge, just like we talked about with Drew Baldridge, taking one to number 1. No one's ever done that before without a record label.
What is it? The saying in Nashville, we're 3 minutes away.
That's right.
And I've always had that mentality. Even when I first moved to Nashville, I did not have a plan B.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing else that I wanted to do. And even losing record deals, losing 2 record deals, I always felt like I was successful no matter what because I was still doing what I love to do and paying my bills with it. And it's crazy to think that I can wake up every day and sing for a living.
Yeah.
No matter at what level.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can relate to that of just like, hey, doing it on your own, it's you, and you're going to make it happen. Okay, can we talk about Class of '89? We love this album.
Yeah.
And is there any way we get a little bit of just any one of the songs on there?
Yeah, I can do all of them.
I don't want to. Which one would you want to do?
And
give us a little story of something behind it.
So Killing Time, let's just start with that one. Killing Time was the very first cassette that I ever bought with my own money. And that album literally put me on a path to just like really loving country music.
Yeah.
I always talk about who's my favorite, and then, Travis Tritt usually pops up first. But to be honest with you, those first 2 Clint Black records,
oh yeah,
they rocked my world.
Dude,
yeah.
I go, one of my favorite all-time albums ever is Delectrified. That was one of Clint's later albums, but it was so good.
Yeah, that one and Sticks and Stones.
Mm-hmm.
I put in that same pile, and then the Country Club record, and Alan Jackson Here in the Real World. Like those
Storms of Life.
You kidding
the
me?
Judds.
Yeah.
The Judds.
See, I didn't know. I wasn't exposed to the Judds early on. It wasn't until later that I started digging into the Judds.
Oh, well, I'm not a judge.
All right, so grab the guitar. Let's
Can we
play,
do a little
play
bit
a little something.
All right, Craig Campbell is in the studio with us. He brought his own headphones in because he doesn't like ours. Last person who was in got lice from our headphones. I know.
No kidding.
Yeah,
No, that's a lie.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Are we plugging in?
Yeah.
All right. There it is. Hey, you were the first thing that I thought of when I thought I drank you off my mind. When I get lost in the liquor, you're the only one I'd find. If I did the things I ought to, you still would not be mine. So I'll keep a tight grip on the bottle, getting loose and killing time. Yeah.
Just killing time is killing me.
Yeehaw! Drinking myself blind, thinking I won't see. Yeah, that if I cross that line when they bury me, hey, I just might find I'll be killing time for eternity.
Ah, it's so good. Long. Also, you're gonna go long neck. That's what it sounds like. Bottle. You're about to play. Dude, it's so good to see you. Thank you. Check out Craig Campbell. He's online. You can get the new song, which is available now. It's called "Missing You." Go by and buy coffee from him. Go see him on tour. Buy merch from him.
All the things.
Do all the things for our friend, Mr. Craig Campbell. All right. Well, that was great. That was good. You did good.
Thank you.
I have no idea what it was because this is taped afterwards, but
you were amazing, though.
Thanks. Appreciate it.